coaching candidates. Listen, I said I would mention this the other day. Obviously, John Harbaugh, listen, 180 wins to 113 losses there. I mean, winning record, 12 playoff appearances, 18 years in the league. We talked about the Super Bowl win. He's probably the top dog on the market, still hungry to go out there and prove himself as a head coach there. Would be the top dog. Now, Mike McCarthy there, you can make a very good argument for him. Forget about his, Green Bay record with 8 division titles, something like that. Also a Super Bowl title. But really, what really impressed me about him is that first, listen, Jerry Jones all over the place, playing owner. He is the owner, but, wanting to do the general manager thing way up in his late 60s, 70s. Of course, he's now 80 years old. It's really hard to maneuver around a strong personality who wants to dominate everything like a Jerry Jones per se. But the first road playoff win in 30 years back in 2022 from 1992. And I remember that 1992. That was the win over the 49ers there. So Mike McCarthy there, number 2. Like I said, folks, these are the top that has been talked about. According to reporter, guys like Ian Rappaport with NFL Network, Adam Schefter, ESPN, the top reporters are saying these guys are having interest from organizations to get the interviews and whatnot. Okay, but these are the ones that I would rank that actually being mentioned, not the ones that, and I'll tell you the ones that I want to be the top, but these are the ones that are actually being mentioned, in my opinion. Harbaugh 1, McCarthy 2, both of them Super Bowl winners. Matt Nagy would be 3 of the Titans are supposed to interview him tomorrow. That's the offensive coordinator from Kansas City. And like I said, I wasn't in love when they said that this guy would be a candidate, him and Lou Morano. But if you go offense or defense, go offense. He did get to the playoffs a few times with Mitch Trubisky with the Bears. And listen, Trubisky's looked at it. He played pretty good the other day when he was a fill-in with the Buffalo Bills. But, he's considered to be a backup quarterback. He's not even considered to be a franchise quarterback, and he's okay with that. I think he sees himself as so the fact that he did that, yeah, I'd probably put Matt Nagy. This is not a super talented slate of candidates available, but of the ones that's being talked about and being listed as potential interviews, Nagy would be number 3. Now, number 4, got a lot of buzz going on about this guy. Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator for the LA Chargers under his brother, Jim Harbaugh, John's brother, won a national championship as a coordinator there with Michigan, but also this Charger team, one of the better defenses in the league, 5th in total defense, 9th in points allowed, with older players and cap issues, guys like Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. I know Bosa's off the team now, but last year they had to deal with that. These over the past 2 years since he's been there, they've been pretty solid defensively, and Mack is like, mid-30s or something. Both of them at the back end of their career, but, they've had cap issues. Not a lot of big star power players that they can put on their team, and they still have top 5 total defense, 9th in points allowed. Mentor looks pretty sharp. Kind of reminds me of Mike McDonald, who's doing pretty well up in Seattle. So, again, these are of the people mentioned. Guys that are not mentioned, okay? Brian Flores has not been mentioned. But Brian Flores, I'm even more impressed with what Brian Flores has been able to do with Minnesota, one of the worst defenses in the NFL, and no star power. Like I said, now we're getting to the candidates who I think, who have not been mentioned, should be in the top list of coaches to get a shot. Brian Flores, third overall with the Minnesota talent there, with players like, listen, I like Harrison Smith, but he is towards the end of his career, I know they had a draft pick that's playing pretty well, but other than that, they're pretty stripped down from the defensive standpoint, and they're playing really well. Now, I also mentioned John. I do think John Gruden is fiery right now. He's like a young 62, 63 years old. I think he can coach a 5-10 years. Listen, I'm right there with Bill Walsh. I think 10 years is fine. I do think that it's okay to move on after 10 years, or ask the coach, or does he want to move on after 10 years, no matter how well you're doing. You know, I think you should really put that into some thought there. So, with other words, when you hire a guy in his 60s and you think, well, we can't get this guy 25 years, maybe you shouldn't have any coach for 25 years. You know, like I said before, I think it's gotten way stale with Mike Tomlin. You could really start to see deteriorate going back to the Ben Roethlisberger days. You could see, and I did make some notes here. There were just a few games with John Harbaugh. And much as I like Harbaugh, you know, they've blown leads in the last 2 years, big leads. They've gotten beat by teams like with backup quarterbacks like the Colts and the Raiders. And they've had some moments there where it looks like the team is simply tuning out Coach Harbaugh. Now, there was one report that's saying that he had lost the team. I don't think so. They played well. They should have won Sunday. I mean, what's like a 40-yard field goal? They should have won that game Sunday, per se. And but hey, listen. It just goes to show when you've just been there that long, things can really happen. So, like I said, guys like John Gruden should, and of course, listen, possibly, even, you know, he probably won't do it. But I would probably talk to, or at least call the agent for Indiana's Curt Cignetti. I know it would be a big buyout. He just signed an extension with Indiana. But listen, this guy gets the best out of players. He's an older coach. He doesn't come off as an abrasive coach like a lot of the college coaches do. Someone like a Curt Cignetti. So listen, guys like Curt Cignetti, John Gruden, Brian Flores, who needs a second shot. I know Brian Flores and John Gruden are suing the